MD Prepper here, talking more about homemade winemaking and prepping. We're talking about bottles this time. Now, first thing about bottles, the standard size is a 750 ml bottle like you see here. Various styles and all, but your standard 750 mLs. You can buy these online for anywhere between $15 to $17 a case or 12 bottles. And that's fine, but you're going to pay a lot for shipping. One of the websites that I watch and read up on winemaking went ahead and said, you know, if you're going to do this yourself and going to do it at home, go ahead and just ask your friends for bottles. Ask around, let them know you're making your own wine, and guess what? You're going to have more bottles than you know what to do with. I did that, and I had to tell my friends to stop after about 2 weeks because I didn't have a place to store all the wine bottles. So, wine bottles, easy to come by. You just got to take the labels off and all. This one's not fully cleaned. The only advantage for buying clean bottles is they don't have the labels on them and the glue, which is a bit of a pain to get off. I may cover that in another video, but either way, they're free. So, if you want to be extra stingy. So, 750 ml bottles should be what you should go for standard. They do have Magnum bottles out there and all sorts of options, but just go for a standard bottle, standard wine bottle. And who cares if they all look different? If your friends bring you all sorts of different styles and all that, it might be the mark of the prepper. They all look different, they're all unique. Looks cool in my opinion. I don't want them all looking all the same with a proper label on them and all that. That's a little frou-frou for me, in my opinion. If you want to do that, nothing wrong with that. Now, one thing I would say, if you're going to buy bottles or get them from friends, make sure you get them that take number 9 corks. Number 9s are your standard cork sized. This is going to work with most of your standard corkers, such as that one. You're going to get these in your standard kit. Usually get about 30 of those in your first opening pack. But if you're doing a 5-gallon batch, that's 25 bottles or so. So this is just one go through if you're doing a big batch, or 4 or 5 batches if you're doing the 1-gallon size. So go ahead and order some more of these. I'd say order them fresh, order them brand new. You can buy recycled corks out there, but they're going to contaminate the flavor and the taste if they're a different type of wine. So I did order some of those, but this is the way to go. Just buy some new corks. Easier to do. Now, what you may have some friends giving you are also these twisty top bottles. For your fruit wines and your other things that don't need to age, there's nothing wrong with these at all. For a wine you're going to drink quickly, pineapple wine, apple wine, etc., a lot of the ones that I'm going to be doing videos on in the future here, this is fine for short term. So if you want to bottle one of these as your taste tester and do the rest corked, that's not a bad idea. I've done that with most of my runs, is one twist off cap. And if I got friends who I know are not going to sit down at a party and drink the whole thing in one night, I do tend to give them a twisty top bottle here. So nothing wrong with these. Just make sure you save the cap because, well, you can't buy those online from what I've seen. Now, another idea that my aunt gave me was something in smaller storage size. Something that can be used in small terms and sampler size, if you will. This is an easy cap bottle, which is usually for beers. You may recognize this style from European style beers, French beers, and all that. This is excellent, and the way to go if you're doing a sparkling wine. If you got a sparkling wine or champagne, something like that, you do not want a standard size cork. The cork's going to pop out on you as the carbonation builds. Now, one of the hits against this, it's small, but that's also a bonus if you're giving it around for taste testing for friends. But it's not used for long-term storage. But for most of the fruit wines I'm doing, this is going to do just fine for short-term trying things out. If you got a new recipe, you want to let your friends try it out, sure, you can give them a full bottle, but what if they don't like it? Give them this one. Give them a 16-ounce bottle. These are a bit more expensive. A 12-pack runs you about $27, $28 online. But I did buy a case of these, 12, just for convenience sake, and they serve very well. So, lots of bottle options, lots of Magnum bottles. They've got 500 ml liqueur bottles, those types of things, whatever you want to use. But I would definitely say get them from friends, ask around, go to the extra trouble, and just have a mismatch of bottles. It just looks cool. At least I think it does. And definitely get yourself some extra corks just in case they don't go bad. MD Prepper out.